Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about World War II. This was one of the history's most important war. This war is known as Global War of Total Wars. Total war because not only soldiers were fighting in this war, but all people were also involved in the war. Lots of place was been used in order to blast a bomb. Lots of bombs were blasted in public places. A person who works in factory also got involved in this war, as he or she is making weapons required for the war, and even the enemy were targeting the factory that were making ships, tanks, or weapons as a result. Before, only armies fought in the war, but in this war public places and civilians were targeted as well. So this war is also known as Total War, where almost all countries and their civilians were linked directly or indirectly in this war. This war is also known as Global War, as countries from Asia, Europe, Africa, and Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean participated and involved in this war. Second World War began in 1st September 1913 and ended in August 1945. In Second World War, almost 60 to 80 million people were killed, in which 50 million were civilians, whereas 20 million were soldiers. This is one of the history's most dangerous war. In humankind, this is one of the most dangerous war which killed maximum number of people. Now, I'm going to talk about countries that were mainly involved in this war. On one side, there were Allied countries, from which United Kingdom, France, USA, USSR, China, Poland, Yugoslavia, and Greece fought, and on the other side there were Axis power, from which Nazi Germany, Italy, and Japan fought the war. Italy fought from Allied power in World War I, but in World War II, Italy fought from the Axis power. These are the colony of Italy in Africa that are Libya and Ethiopia. These are the part of China that was captured by Japan around 1931. India was the colony of Britain. Australia, Canada were all part of the Commonwealth and fought representing Britain. Now I'm going to talk about main reasons of World War II. First of all, rise of militarism in Japan. Japan's military was growing day by day. Japan was ruling by military. Japan was focusing on military years ago and were attacking all the countries around. The next reason is Treaty of Versailles that happened in 1990 after the First World War. I have mentioned in detail about this Treaty of Versailles in World War I. If you have not watched it, please do to know the details. According to this treaty, Germany got all the blame for World War I. This was not fair for Germans. Germans had to face a lot of shame with this treaty in front of the world. France was also showing Germany down, utilizing its treaty again and again. Germans were not happy with this treaty and they were enraged. Hitler took the advantage of the situation and came to power in 1933. The next reason is imperialism. As Britain and France both have a great empire, Germany and Japan also wanted to create an empire of their own. Japan and Germany began attacking different countries and compete to get all the resources to themselves. The other reason is rise of nationalism or dictatorship in Japan, Italy, and Germany. Italy was ruled by Mussolini. Even though Japan had a king, but all powers were controlled by the military. There were a lot of praises about nationalism in Germany, but they all felt if they go for a war, no one can feed Germany. League of Nations was created after Treaty of Versailles with the main aim to stop the future was a total failure. China's Manchuria was attacked by Japan in 1931. Japan was pressurized by League of Nations to move back when Japan left the League of Nations. Even though Italy attacked Ethiopia and captured Ethiopian, League of Nations was not able to take any action. When Germans attacked Rhineland, League of Nations kept quiet. There were a lot of new countries created after World War I, and their borders were not finalized. Some parts of Germany went to Poland and some went to Czechoslovakia, but people who lived there believed that they were Germans. Hitler can be considered as the main reason of World War II. His party was named National Socialist German Worker Party. This party is also known as Nazi Party. Nazi blamed Jews for the loss of Germany during World War I. They were also against Marxism and communism. Nazi believed that Aryans were superior and all non-Aryans would be exiled or killed. Hitler was the leader of Nazi Party and became Chancellor in January 1933. The King of Germany appointed Hitler, although he did not win the election because Nazi had the great amount of vote. As soon as Hitler came in power, he increased the number of armies in Germany, which was against Treaty of Versailles. After that, he marks all the Jewish in Germany. He made a law that all Jewish should carry a mark in their hands, which is known as Star as David. He did not allow any election and became a dictator in Germany. According to him, he just wants to return the glory of Germany. Now we're going back to look at what was happening during this time in Asia. The main reason for Second World War in Asia can be considered as Sino-Japanese War. This was between Japan and China in 1937. Utilizing its power, Japan had already captured Korea in 1910. Japan attacked Manchuria of China because Manchuria is rich in resources. Japan can use its land to cultivate. Japan attacked China with full force in 1937. During that time, China was having a civil war between nationalists and communists. Japan utilized the civil war and captured lots of areas within China. This war continued to happen till the end of Second World War, where Japan was defeated. Japan became a great empire in itself. Likewise, Britain and France had their own empire. Now Japan had its own empire in Asia as well. Now we are coming in Europe. This is the map of war between World War I and World War II. This is the map of Germany before the World War II. This is Poland, this is Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, which are known as Baltic nation. Baltic Sea lies behind them. This huge area is USSR. Australia lies in the south of Germany. Czechoslovakia lies in between Germany and Austria, and beneath that is Hungary. This is Romania, this is Bulgaria. This is Yugoslavia, which was in Austria-Hungary Empire. This is Italy, and this is Switzerland, which was neutral during the war. Switzerland was neutral during First World War as well. This is France, and this is Great Britain. Now I'm going to talk about what events took place before Second World War. Germany sent its army to Rhineland in 1936. This area that lies between Germany, France, and Belgium, from there the river Rhineland flows, and this area is known as Rhineland. This is a very developed area of Germany where Germans were not allowed to bring any soldiers as agreed in the Treaty of Versailles. But Hitler sent his armies over there and France was not able to do anything. Rome and Berlin have had an agreement known as Rome-Berlin Axis. From here the name Axis came from. Germany and Japan had an agreement. Germany had a separate agreement with Italy and Japan. Around 1938, Germany started to capture countries. It began with Austria. Hitler thinks that Austria was a part of Germany before the Treaty of Versailles and it was lost because of the treaty. Austria was a new country and Hitler considered it Austria should be a part of Germany because lots of German-speaking people still lived in Austria. Next, Hitler attacked Sunder which was a part of Czechoslovakia. There were lots of German-speaking people and Hitler wanted to join that area with Germany. Although Hitler captured these two countries, UK and France did not speak a word. Britain and France did not want to start another fight for these small parts of land and were thinking that Hitler would be quiet after these, which was their biggest mistake. Germany attacked Czechoslovakia with full force in 1939 and captured all till March. All of the countries were quiet and did not make any action against Germany. Later, Hitler attacked Poland. Poland was a big country and Poland had an agreement and treaty with Britain and France that if someone attacked Poland, then Britain and France will have to help Poland. On the same year, Hitler did one secret treaty with USSR to attack Poland. This is Poland. There was a treaty between Germany and USSR to help Germany to attack Poland from one end and USSR will also attack Poland from the other end and divide Poland between them. This was a secret treaty. Germany attacked Poland from west in September 1, 1939 and this is the date Second World War started. After this, France and England announced to attack Germany. In the same time, USSR attacked Poland from east. Poland lost soon and was divided between Germany and USSR as the treaty. After a few months, USSR attacked Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, which are known as Baltic nation, and soon captured them. In 1940, Germany attacked Denmark and Norway. Denmark was defeated within few hours and Norway was defeated in 1 week. After 1 month, Germany attacked Belgium and Netherlands. Within 4 months, Germany captured 4 different countries. During World War I as well, Germany attacked France after capturing Belgium and Netherlands. Again, Germany attacked France and won. USSR also captured Baltic state and Finland. Italy also attacked France and helped Germany and participated in the World War II in June. Germany attacked France in June 10, 1940 and captured Paris in June 14th. Whole world was shocked with this result that Germany captured so many countries within a short time. Whole world now started to get panicked and afraid in the name of Hitler. All the world now started to think that Germany is really strong and can neither be predicted nor trusted. After France got defeated, then the Battle of Britain started. Germany began to blast bombs with German Air Force in Britain. Germany targeted all the factories where Britain were making any kinds of weapons and started to destroy it. Civilians were attacked in the process as well, and Germany started to attack public places. This operation is known as Blitz in the history, which the battle took place only in the sky. This is the first battle in the history that took place entirely in the sky. None of the armies were fighting in the ground. This is known as the first aerial battle. This continues to happen for a few months and Hitler was thinking that UK will do some compromise, but later UK's Air Force pushed German Air Force back and thus ended the war. During the same time in 1940, Germany did a treaty with Japan and Italy which is known as Tripartite Pact and called Axis Power. Now, if any country attacked Japan, then it would now consider an attack to Germany and Italy as well, and vice versa. If one of the three countries get attacked, then it would be considered as an attack to all three countries. Hungary, Bulgaria, and Romania joined the pact later on. Now we're going to look at Africa for a moment. This is Egypt, which was colony of England. This is Libya, which was colony of Italy. Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco were all colonies of France. The armies of Italy that were in Libya attacked Egypt, but with the help of UK's armies, they were pushed back. Then Germany sent its troops to help Italy and push British army back to Egypt. Germany attacked Yugoslavia and Greece in 1914. After this, almost whole Europe were under German. Although German and USSR had a treaty not to attack each other, still Hitler attacked USSR in order to gain more access to the resources and living spaces available over there. Nazi Party believed that they need more grains, land, and other resources, so they have to attack USSR. Germany also was scared of USSR that it might attack German in new future. For this reason, German attacked USSR first. This attack by German to USSR is known as Operation Barbarossa. This is one of the history's greatest war fought on the land. Never and ever before in the future has such huge number of soldiers fought in a war. USS was very big and had lots of soldiers. The cold was really freezing in USSR and German could not move forward because of the cold weather. This area in this map is captured by the German. They have won France, Belgium, Netherlands, Romania, Bulgaria, and later attacked USSR with Operation Barbarossa. Germany was moving forward, but because of cold weather, they were not able to move forward. Now I'm going to talk about Pacific Ocean. Till 1940, Japan had captured large area and was an emperor in itself. After joining Axis power, Japan attacked the colony of Britain and France because they were fighting from Allied power and Japan was fighting from Axis. Japan has already captured Manchuria after it attacked China's Shanghai and Nanking and captured them. Then it attacked Vietnam, known by the name Indochina at that time, and many islands like Philippines, and Japan almost reached very close to Australia as seen in this map. Japan threw bombs over Australia as well. Now Japan is a huge empire. Japan and USA both now started to show concern with each other. If USA joins the war, then it was certain that USA will fight against Japan. USA ordered all its companies to stop selling oils to Japan and restricted many items for Japan. This was taken very negatively by Japan, and Japan thought that USA can attack Japan anytime now. With this fear, Japan decided to attack USA. Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, which was in Hawaii, in December 7th and 8th in 1941. Japan also attacked lots of different countries on the same day, like Malaysia, Philippines, and Hong Kong that were controlled by USA and UK. Besides these, Japan threw bombs in Australia and Papua New Guinea. Attack in Pearl Harbor was the greatest attack for USA. Before 9/11, this was considered the biggest attack in US history. Almost 2,500 soldiers were killed in this attack. After this, USA actively took part in World War II and fought with Allied power. In 1942, USA fought with Japan in Pacific Ocean and slowly freed all the area captured by Japan. The most important war among these where Japan first lost was Battle of the Midway and Guadalcanal. Battle of Midway was fought in between ocean, which lies in between America and Asia. Now in 1942, the Axis power, who has been winning war, slowly started to lose the war. Russian army started to win slowly over Germans, and the Germans were moving back. There were lots of casualties in both armies during Operation Barbarossa. Almost 10 million people were killed in this battle. This operation was so dangerous and is known as Battle in Eastern Front. There were battles for almost 2 years in siege of Leningrad, which was known as St. Petersburg now, and in Stalingrad, which is known as Volgograd. These areas were fully surrounded by Germans, and thousands of people died of starvation only. It was the Battle of Stalingrad where Germans lost the battle for the first time. Now Russian army began to push Germans slowly backward. In 1914, Allied army defeated Germany and Italy armies that were in the North America. Allied powers defeated Axis power in Libya. In 1943, they were defeated in Tunisia as well. From Tunisia, Allied army attacked the island Sicily of Italy, and they moved forward and conquered almost half part of the Italy. The dictator of the Italy, named Mussolini, was removed by the minister of Italy, and this is how Allied power gained control over Italy. Now we are coming in 1944. The Soviet army of USSR began to free other countries that were captured by Germans. Allied armies also attacked North Italy, and they were reached close to Japan. After this, USSR attacked the Europe that were occupied with German, and after 4 years, Germans started to lose the battle. 6th June 1944 is known as D-Day. Germans were ruling France for 4 years. To free France, Allied powers sent their armies over there, and this is the Normandy area where British, American, and Canadian forces helped France to be free from Germans and pushed all German armies inside Germany. Normandy Landing is very important historically because this is the first amphibious landing where they fought both in land and ocean. Ships landed from ocean, from where they sent the troops, tanks, and cars and did battle. Germans lost badly after this Normandy landing, and Allied armies reached till Berlin. Germans surrendered in 29th April 1945, and Hitler committed suicide in 30th April 1945. So Germans finally lost the war, and the war ended in Europe as well. The Allied armies of France, US, and England came from one side, and the army of USSR came from the other side, and they both met in Berlin. Allied force wins in Burma, Indonesia, and Philippines as well. Now, the only country left was Japan. To surrender Japan, they used 2 nuclear bombs. Allied power didn't want to lose their people as in Normandy. Allied power did not think it was clear to do the same in Japan. USA thought that if they attacked Japan via land, they would lost hundreds of soldiers and it would take a long time as well. To avoid this, on the same time, nuclear weapons were invented. This was first used by USA against Japan and has never been used since. Nuclear weapon was used in Hiroshima on 6th August and Nagasaki on 8th August. USA decided not to use this weapon in Tokyo because Tokyo was already destroyed during the war, and most of their big industries for manufacturing weapons were in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Almost 100,000 Japanese died in Hiroshima and 80,000 Japanese died in Nagasaki as soon as it blasted. Many Japanese were affected years later after this blast and will kill later. Lots of diseases were spread out, like genetic mutation still exists till date as well, and it's been affecting children that are born in those places. Finally, Japan surrenders in 15th August 1945. Now I'm going to explain about the events that took place immediately after Second World War. First of all, the Cold War between USSR and USA started, which was as long as 45 years. This happened in 1941 till 1991. USA and USSR raised as both superpower, and all the world were divided between these superpower nations. One was NATO, meaning North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that was led by USA, and the other was Warsaw Pact, that was led by USSR. The line in this map is called Iron Curtain because it was almost impossible to cross this line. Western countries were not allowed to cross this line. France, UK, and Germany were part of NATO and were alongside of US, where in the other side there were Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, Yugoslavia, and Bulgaria led by USSR. Germany was divided into two parts, and Berlin was also divided into two parts. Part 1 was occupied by French, British, and USA, and the other part by USSR. Berlin was created, which was only destroyed in 1990, which Germany became united again. Europe was totally destroyed. The power of British and France slowly diminished, and they moved back from the superpower nations. Lots of countries got independence from British and France. UNO was established with the main aim to stop and prevent World War III. Japan was occupied by USA for almost 7 years, and Korea was divided into North Korea and South Korea. The USSR got power over North Korea, whereas USA got South Korea. In China, the civil war between nationalists and communists started again, and communists finally won in 1949, and all the nationalists escaped in Taiwan. Communists came to power in China. New country Israel was created in the Middle East, and still lots of countries are in battle in this country. By saying this, I would like to finish this Second World War. I hope you all have acquired a lot of information. If you like this video, then share this and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any suggestions and feedback or videos you want to see, write down us in the comment below. We will meet you in the next video. Thank you.